I'm Megan, and I'm here to talk to you about employee retention. This is an issue that your company is currently facing as turnover rates have been at an all-time high. Did you know that employee turnover can cost a company about 1.5 times the employee's current salary? Not to mention the indirect costs like employee morale, knowledge, production. Attracting and keeping employees can be a challenge. This is called employee retention. So you might be asking, what causes employee turnover? There's a long list, and this list includes poor relationships with bosses and coworkers, being bored or unchallenged by the work itself, having a lack of meaning within the job, or not having enough autonomy and independence within their position. Maybe the company's financial stability or the corporate culture overall. Not having enough job recognition or too much corporate politics. The list goes on, and I'm sure some of these sound very familiar to you. But you might be asking, what can you do as a manager to hold on to your high-performing employees? Well, there's 5 simple steps that I believe that are a well-proven method to really reduce employee turnover. These steps include hiring the right people from the start, interviewing people to make sure that they have the skill set needed to really perform well in that position, and just that they're an overall fit within the organizational culture. Set the right compensation and benefits. Make sure that you are following the current trends and that you are competitive within the workplace. Pay attention to the employees' personal needs. This is so important to know what they need, and how to give it to them. For example, maybe more telecommuting or employee daycare assistance, or just saying thank you, letting them know where they are and what they're doing in their role is on track. The most important piece in really making sure that your employees are happy is creating a positive work environment. This includes awards and recognition, maybe emailing them, telling them good job, or telling other people within their organization what a great job they're doing. This will give them the confidence and the inspiration they need to keep performing at a higher level. Right now, employee turnover is the highest it has ever been, and the generation tenures are getting shorter and shorter. Baby boomers are now averaging 7 years within one company. Generation X, 5 years. And millennials, only 2 years in their current role. Gallup's 2015 results tell us that 70% of employees are not engaged. Companies experience a 240% boost in productivity and top-line results when their employees are more engaged. Did you know that $460 billion are lost on an annual basis and could be prevented with employee turnover? I'm going to tell you about a real-life story, but I'm changing the names for confidentiality reasons. So, I'd like to talk about a company called Medco. Mary is a sales rep for Medco, very high performer, but she's not content in her position. She works for a knowledgeable boss named David, and she was overlooked for a promotion not too long ago. So she went to David and she said, "Where do you see me going? Do you see me having a future in this company?" And David got nervous that she was thinking about leaving. So he decided to look at Mary's career past, and what he saw were some of her top-line accomplishments and different areas that she'd worked in. What he didn't see is that she had such a strong focus on self-development. She had strong networking abilities and communication skills. And she kept applying to internal positions without getting them. Mary feels stuck in her current role, and she doesn't know how to get to where it is that she wants to go. By opening these lines of communication, David was able to understand why Mary was dissatisfied in her current role. And it was because she felt gridlocked. She had poor communication with David, compensation was too low, and there was a lack of professional development and career advancement. By companies lacking in these areas, it's like putting top talented orchestra members into a room and not having them perform to the best of their abilities. There is a direct link between retention, engagement, and career development. So, David decided to look at the company's turnover data. He looked at the exit interviews, and then he found a pattern at Medco between the company's satisfaction surveys and the exit interviews. The top 3 factors in both these data include better relationships, career development, and compensation, which were all included in Mary's concerns as well. Engagement plus career development equals retention. David came to the conclusion that by really knowing his employees, he would understand what their career goals were, where they wanted to go, and how he was better able to get them there. He started tracking Mary's behavior on a daily basis and created an action learning plan by understanding what skills she possessed, what skills she needed to get to where she wanted to go, and how to bridge that gap, to develop those skills. So, in his book, Working with Emotional Intelligence, Daniel Goleman stated that one of the most frequently occurring competencies in star performers is the need for achievement. What this means is that people need to feel like they are advancing, that their hard work is going for a cause, and that there is career opportunity for those that choose to advance. Not having standardized talent data is like having those orchestra members not having the same sheet music that they can all read and be on the same page. By having talent data that people can use, this will streamline information and get everyone on the same page as to how to set goals, measure their goals, and then succeed. This data all starts with recruiting, the selection of employees, their performance, development plan, and finally, succession. A structured format like this will get people engaged. It's almost like a GPS. You simply state where you want to go, and it tells you how to get there. Just like traveling with a GPS, you measure your progress mile by mile on a real time. The key to knowing this data is being able to measure the results on a daily basis. I'll tell you a little story about how I tried to lose a couple pounds. I was simply just weighing myself in the morning. I would look at the scale and I would see the results. But this didn't help. What I needed to do was focus on my behavior and my daily routines, not the results. By focusing on behaviors on a daily basis, it's a much better indicator on the ultimate success or failure of that goal. You can't master what you can't measure. And for employees to perform and succeed, They need to be able to measure what their ultimate goal is. A recent survey stated that 70% of learning comes from action learning or being engaged with an activity. This is a huge factor for increasing productivity within your organization. By tracking this data, you will be able to answer the question of how do I get to where I want to go? What skills do I have? What skills do I need? And how do I bridge this gap? So let's talk about how the story with Mary and David ends. Mary now has a plan. She knows where her career is going. She knows what she wants. And she knows what skills she has, what skills she needs, and how to develop those skills. David is now tracking her learning and her behaviors on a daily basis. He feels much more effective as a manager, and he now has the tools to coach, which opens up the lines of communication and creates a more positive work environment. So, let's go over a quick recap of what you can do as a manager to increase employee morale, reduce employee turnover, and keep that employee retention. First, hire the right people. Interview people that have the skill sets and that will fit in well with that corporate culture. Second, set the compensation and the benefits by making sure you're competitive in the workplace and that your employees will feel valued by what it is that you're offering them. Third, get to know your employees. Pay attention to their personal and professional needs, what their goals are, and how you can help them achieve those goals. Offer room to learn and grow within the organization. Have a clear career path and help them become more engaged with what it is that they're doing, whether it's on-site learning or task force that help them engage in different parts of the organization. And lastly, create a positive work environment. By creating a positive work environment, you open up lines of communication. You ask employees where they are, where they want to go. You help them learn new skill sets, and they will feel as they are achieving new goals on a daily basis. Because employee turnover is so high, and it takes more than 2 years to earn a return on investment for every employee that leaves, employee retention is more important than ever. I'd like to leave you today with a quote from Benjamin Franklin. He said, "Tell me, and I will forget. Show me, and I might remember. But engage me, and I will learn."